back to my channel. So, what do boomers not want in a home as they're getting older? So, that's the population between 1946 and 1964. They are known as boomers. So, sometimes I feel like I know better than what they want when we are looking for houses. So, let's start with this recent example. I was working with an older retired couple for many years. They just recently wanted to check out a recent home. Obviously, they haven't gotten anything yet. It's on the market for a bit, so hoping they can get a deal. Before we went to the property, I noticed some wallpaper was torn, and I emailed them and said, "Oh, I see there is basement laundry." I know my clients. So we went to look at the home. It needed a lot of fixing up, had basement laundry, like I mentioned. It had a basement, which is what they were wanting. And with appreciation increasing so much these past couple of years, what they wanted back when we started looking was getting out of their price range. Wanted the basement for the grandkids. So after a bit, they were ready to put a reasonable lowball offer, as it did need a lot of work. And I completely agreed with it. So after a few comebacks, they got the house at a decent price. Now, the seller did come back at the end with one more counter and added an as-is clause. We were kind of familiar with that at that point. So at that point, the buyers called, said they didn't want the ranch home, but for a few reasons. Now, it didn't surprise me, as the wife never seemed on board with the home, and because it had basement laundry and needed too much work. But it was a great house for someone who had the funds and the means to fix it up. Great backyard, just kind of overgrown, great deck, gazebo, and stuff like that, shed. So this happens in real estate at times. Wasn't too surprised, as I thought this was a bit much to handle for a 77-year-old man and his wife, and they did have a disabled brother. But the price was right. So they were able to get out of the contract without issue and without losing their earnest money, which was great. And this is because the seller did counter in the paragraph and said they wanted it as is. So in my intent with telling the story, as I work with a lot of older clients, I know basement laundry and many stairs is what they are not looking for. Boomers are not looking for this. So I help share this with my other older clientele as we look for homes. I gently let them know, and of course they will decide in the end what they want. Everyone does have, of course, their own particular needs. So the boomers don't want the multi-level, the quads, the tri, the bi-level homes. They prefer one level. Some either want basements or no basements. I have one client still looking. They went to a patio home and realized it was too small for them, as they still have family coming to visit. They're not planning on going down to the basement. So again, they're looking to move into a home with main floor laundry and a basement, again, for their family to come visit and be able to stay down there. And I bought a home recently, and it ended up being a quad home. I was looking for a ranch for the same reasons, if I want to stay here forever. But with the lack of inventory, and the quad was really just in the best shape possible with a great layout, super homey, with new windows. But in the back of my mind, I do know that I might turn it into a rental and get another ranch in the future. So the story, I sold a home 2 years ago. There was a 2-story, all 3 bedrooms were upstairs. Laundry was in the basement. Now, this couple was in their 30s, so a little off track of this video, but still, it's tough when you have a young child. Laundry's in the basement. All the rooms are upstairs. So I just consider those types of homes good for people in their 20s, maybe before kids. That's a lot of moving to do with doing laundry and an active toddler. So what everybody needs is more stairs after a full day of work, and toddler and basement laundry. I'm just tired thinking about it. So now I wanted to share what boomers don't want. Here's a list of what they are looking for. So comfort and accessibility. As I mentioned, few stairs, as mobility does become an issue later in life. Single level or minimal stairs is ideal. Features like wider doorways, grab bars in bathrooms by stairs become more important. Low maintenance. Many boomers seek homes with minimal upkeep, including low maintenance yards, like patio home neighborhoods, and durable materials that don't need a lot of repairs. I had some clients recently to redo siding, still working, so they figured let's just get it done, and they figured that would be good for the rest of their lifetime. It didn't need it. I know the husband was in the 70s. Anyway, but they got it done. So energy efficient, feeling comfortable, and energy efficient features can help with bills, as these folks obviously are on a fixed income. Good insulation and energy efficient appliances can all help with just that level of comfort and lower bills. So they want space for entertaining. We know that they've got the free time, retirement, so dedicated space for hobbies or an office is desired typically. And hoping family members, like I mentioned earlier, come to visit. They seek great entertaining spaces like a large kitchen or outdoor decks, patio areas. So hosting a family, is really important to this generation. Location, of course, this is important for a lot of demographics, but due to driving becoming more difficult, being close to shops, the doctor's office, of course, even family and friends becomes very important. It reminds me of all the older ladies at the YMCA pool that I've seen throughout the years too. People moving out of state to be closer to family. I just had this conversation this week with a lady, or yesterday. We were talking about estate sales because they're wanting to get rid of a lot of furniture, downsize from like a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. And when she mentioned she was moving out of state, is basically to be near family. They were older and they just wanted the support system. Kids were elsewhere. They wanted to basically move where family is. So another variable, safety and security. Boomers may prioritize well-lit entryways, security systems, and gated neighborhoods. Of course, yes, I agree. I watch Dateline. And we know the elderly can get scammed. I'm dealing this with a relative right now, I think, is being scammed. And in downsizing, obviously these folks are more so downsizing. And recently I have a client that bought a multi-generation home for her and her family. They're about 75-ish, and she's going to help them as they age. And then affordability, obviously being on a fixed income, and community amenities. It's a key for this demographic as they don't want to venture far. They can still be out and about, have friends, interact with others, whether it's a golf course, fitness centers, walking trails, or social clubs. I think pickleball courts is a huge amenity that these patio home neighborhoods have been adding. This kind of sums it up, what boomers hate in a home as well as what they're looking for. And sometimes I have noticed I have to be the one to help them realize basement laundry is not what they want. And stairs and a tri-level. That reminds me of another story. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you some great content. Like this information, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. You'll be notified when all my videos come out. Reach out anytime. All my contact information is in the description below of every video. Hey, thanks for watching. Happy house hunting.